Well, everyone, it's time for us to go ahead to kind of hit on some of the worst Android phones that you can basically buy in 2025 in June. Now, there's a couple of different phones that come to mind. Number one, any phone that you're basically going to buy that's outdated with software, as always, isn't really going to be the first one I probably would recommend buying. So I would highly recommend avoiding buying any of those types of phones. So if you have the option to buy a phone that is still supported with software, that is still giving you updates, so that's kind of my blanket statement kind of going into it. It's kind of the first thing I'd recommend kind of thinking about. Now, another thing I'd kind of throw in here too is if you're planning on buying a phone, I would probably recommend not buying any of the fold or flip phones, pretty much from any manufacturer. But Samsung are typically the first ones I'd recommend, kind of avoiding, or the Google Pixel Folds. The reason for this is because I feel like they're way overpriced for kind of what you're getting inside of these particular devices. Meaning when you're going through and you're buying one of these types of phones, you're kind of getting a device on both the Samsung Galaxy Folds, Flips, and the Google Pixel Fold that is just, not the best internals, and they're very expensive for what you're paying for. Unless for some reason you really like that folding phone, then you might be okay with it, for the most part. But I do think if you're planning on getting a phone, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to go and buy that type of device when it comes down to it. I also think when you're looking at some of the older generations too, and some phones that are still supported with software, I do think potentially phones like either like a Galaxy S22 or even like a Google Pixel 6 Pro, those types of phones might not be the first ones I'd recommend buying either anymore, when it comes down to used older devices. The Galaxy S22s had tons of issues. The thermal issues that they had, the over throttling sometimes. So there were some issues with those devices. So that right there could be a big thing to kind of keep in mind there too. And I feel like with the Pixel 6 Pro, this is also one of those types of devices that, I think is okay and it's good for, for some people. But I do think for a lot of people, they probably would not have a good time with that type of device. And it is a big phone and it is a good looking phone, but it just might be a little bit outdated for what some people kind of want in this day and age. So those are kind of some of the worst, phones in general that I can kind of think about to avoid buying in June of 2025. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.